In the heart of a vibrant village called Umoba lived a widow named Ezine. Life had thrown many challenges at her, especially when her husband, a hard-working farmer, passed away. Ezine, who had no relatives to rely on, was left alone and expecting twins. She endured many hardships, selling fruits and vegetables in the bustling village market to make a living. But she always looked forward to the joy of motherhood. One rainy day, Ezine went into labor. She didn't have money to pay a midwife, but a compassionate woman named Auntie Kemi offered to help with that charge, not knowing she had a hidden agenda. That day, Ezine gave birth to two cute boys, Emeka and Chidi, in the cold evening of that day. But Auntie Kemi, in a shocking twist, took Chidi and sold him to a wealthy couple who had longed for a child for many years. Ezine, weakened from childbirth, fell unconscious and remained in a coma for 2 days. When she woke up, Auntie Kemi told her that one of her babies had died and was buried behind the house. Heartbroken, Ezine mourned her loss and poured all her love into Emeka. She vowed to always protect her remaining child. Emeka and Chidi grew up worlds apart. Emeka lived with his widowed mother, Ezine, in a tiny one-room apartment. On the other side of the town, Chidi was raised in a grand mansion by Chief and Madam Okafor. Chief Okafor was a wealthy businessman who imported luxury cars. Chidi was their only child, and they spoiled him with everything he wanted. From toys to clothes, everything. He lacked nothing. He was the heir to Chief Okafor's wealth. Despite living in the same town, the two boys never met until their teenage years, but fate had a plan for them. Chidi attended a prestigious private school, which was for the rich alone, where he was known for being arrogant and proud. He often flaunted his wealth, looking down on anyone he considered beneath him. Emeka, on the other hand, was brilliant, but Ezine couldn't afford the fees for secondary school. She promised him that she was going to enroll him the next year. So he worked hard helping his mom so she could enroll him the next year. One day, a kind-hearted customer who had always admired Emeka's intelligence noticed that school was in session, but each time he came to buy something, he saw Emeka at his mom's small roadside shop. Sometimes he saw him reading. Curious, he asked one day, "Why are you not in school?" Emeka told him that his mom couldn't afford his fees, but had promised to enroll him in a public secondary school the next year. He was a vice principal of Chidi's school. He had always liked Emeka, and it was Emeka's intelligence that drew the man to him. He didn't have a son, but had 3 girls who were all married, so he decided to help young Emeka. It was almost the end of the school session, so he promised to enroll him as soon as school resumes. By the next term, Emeka was enrolled in the same school with Chidi. Their striking resemblance kept everyone, including the teachers, talking. But soon it fizzled away since there was no evidence or proof that they were twins. At school, Emeka met Ada, a beautiful and intelligent girl who quickly became his friend. Emeka's humility and kindness impressed Ada, and the two grew close. Both boys were in love with the same girl. Ada was known for her beauty and kindness. Ada liked Emeka because of his humility and genuine nature. But Chidi, being the wealthy and popular one, initially won her over with his charm and lavish gifts before Emeka was enrolled in the same school. Chidi's arrogance and sense of entitlement began to push Ada away, and she found herself drawn more and more to Emeka's sincerity. Eventually, Chidi's pride led to their breakup, and Ada started spending more time with Emeka, appreciating his down-to-earth kindness and intelligence. Chidi didn't like how close Emeka and Ada were, and often teased Emeka, calling him names like Akara boy. One day, during a heated argument, Chidi mocked Emeka for being poor. "You think you can compete with me for Ada's love? Look at yourself. You're nothing but a poor roadside boy. You're just fortunate to have been enrolled here. Don't you know this school is for the wealthy and high class alone?" Emeka, though hurt, responded calmly, "Money doesn't define a person, Chidi. Ada is my friend because she values who I am and not what I have." Chidi became furious and challenged Emeka to a school debate competition, thinking it could embarrass him. To everyone's surprise, Emeka won the competition with ease. His intelligence and humility earned him even more respect from his classmates, including Ada, who began to admire him deeply. Despite his attempts to impress Ada with gifts and fancy outings, Chidi noticed Ada drifting closer to Emeka. He became jealous, and with the help of his friends, the bullying got worse. Bullying Emeka more frequently. "I'll frustrate you until you leave Ada for me," he said. One day, during a school sports event, they were both in different teams. All of Chidi's attack was on Emeka. He didn't want him to score at all costs. During one of the attacks, he grabbed Emeka's shirt with the intention to tear it, and eventually it tore, revealing a crescent-shaped birthmark on his chest. Chidi noticed it and froze. He had the exact same birthmark in the same place. "Where did you get that?" Chidi demanded. "I was born with it," Emeka replied, confused. "Why do you care?" Chidi showed his own birthmark, and the two boys stared at each other in shock. They couldn't believe the resemblance they shared, not just in appearance, but in that unique mark. That evening, Emeka asked his mother about his birth. Ezine hesitated but finally revealed the truth. "You had a twin brother, Emeka. I was unconscious for 2 days, and by the time I woke up, I was told that he was dead and was buried behind the house. But I always felt something was wrong." Chidi also questioned his parents, who confessed that they had adopted him, paying a nurse who claimed the child's mother couldn't take care of him. The boys confronted each other the next day. They pieced together their stories and realized they were the twins who had been separated at birth. Emeka forgave Chidi for his bullying, and Chidi apologized for his behavior. Reunited, the boys introduced Chidi to Ezine, who was overjoyed to see her lost son. The moment she saw him, she knew he was her son. So Emeka and Chidi, with Ezine and Chidi's adopted parents, decided to trace the nurse. They discovered Auntie Kemi had been sick for years, and after confessing to the truth, she gave up the ghost. With Chidi's help, his adopted parents supported Ezine and Emeka, giving her a house and a big shop. Chidi now had 2 parents. Though he stayed with his adopted parents, he visited his biological mother often, and Emeka likewise visited his brother often. He apologized to Ada for his arrogance and accepted that she and Emeka were meant to be together. Chidi and Emeka grew close, helping each other and building a strong bond as brothers. They both excelled in their studies, with Chidi learning humility from Emeka's example. Moral lessons. Pride leads to downfall. Chidi's arrogance pushed people away, but humility helped him grow. True worth is in character. Emeka's kindness and intelligence won hearts, not material things. Family bonds are unbreakable. Even when separated, the boys' connection brought them back together. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.